Hey guys, it's Nick with the Bass Hookup, and today we're doing a video on Ned rigs. Specifically, a Ned rig or Ned head design that we've designed with First Gen Fishing, and it's going to change the way you fish Ned rigs and how versatile that bait could actually be throughout the summer, throughout the fall, winter, all times of year. So we're going to get out here on the lake. I'm going to show you guys a couple techniques, a couple of my favorites, and what makes this head different than any Ned head you've ever used. So let's go. So right now it's summertime, and these bass like to go out deep. They like to come shallow too, but the majority of them, if you're looking for numbers, even a lot of the big bass, they go out deep in that cooler water. And the first technique I like to use with our First Gen jaw dropper head, as you can see, well, right off the bat, you could see that lip, and that lip is what gives it its action. Now, when you initially see the lip, what everybody thinks is it's gonna wobble like a crankbait with a paddle tail on the back or something like that. In fact, that's not actually what it's designed for. What it's designed for is for dropping this thing down in the water, letting it go to the bottom, or even suspended. And when you pop it on a slack line, this bait's gonna dart left and right as that lip catches water. So it makes it super, super unique. Right here, I got a baby 3Z Strike King on there. Matches up with that head. Awesome. Works great on suspended bass. Any bass looking, you know, up. And I'm going to throw this thing out just like this. What I'm going to do, this first technique, is just kind of stroking this bait, working it back, trying to cover some water. But I'll cast it out. Now, if I see fish on live target and I see them suspended, this bait is excellent for that. You could throw it to them, watch it go down, and all you're going to do is kind of real slow and just little subtle twitches, and that bait's just dancing down there. It's just dancing. And if one sees that thing, especially when they're schooled up, they're going to come crush it. Now, that's what we're going to do starting out here. We're going to cover some water here. I'm going to get out deep on the outside of this weed line, and I'm going to get out there. I'm going to let it go down, and I'm kind of just going to walk that bait back just like that. And this bait, when you pop it hard, it walks the dog underwater, something that, you know, your normal Ned heads or any head out there does not do. So I'm going to bomb it way out there. I'm going to let it go to the bottom. It's probably 20 feet deep out there. But I fish this thing down to 50, wherever those bass are at, depending on the lake. Now, right there, it was in some weeds. I pulled it out, no problem. And I'm just gonna dance this thing down there on the bottom. Maybe give it a couple hard pops. Just keep dancing it. Just nice coming along. Fish is down there and wants a little bait fish. This little profile, this little 3-inch profile is perfect for that. Gets caught in the weed, I just rip it out. I'm just gonna keep dancing it along. And that's all you're doing. You're just casting this technique right here. Works excellent. Again, suspended fish. I could drop it straight down. Instead of using a jigging spoon, drop this down on those fish and just pop it like that, just like you're jigging a spoon. And this bait is gonna dance real erratic, almost like an ice jig. So you could pair it with any soft plastic you like, baby fluke. This thing works great. As you guys could see in this footage underwater of what it's actually doing. So let's throw this thing out and we'll move along here and we'll see if we could get one on it. All right, it's at the bottom. Some weeds there. I'm just gonna, again, I'm just twitching it like that, rolling it slow, trying to keep it, you know, right now, I think these fish are on the bottom, so I'm trying to keep it relatively close to the bottom. If I want, I could let it go back down to the bottom, get it up off bottom, about a foot, maybe 6 inches off bottom. If I start to feel weeds or something, I can go a little faster. But this is just a good way to cover water. So not your typical Ned rig fishing, throwing it out there, letting it soak. This right here, you could actually cover some water move along pretty quick. And if there are fish around, I'm pretty confident that they're gonna eat that bait. So you guys can see with this bait, I could cover a lot more water than you typically could with a Ned rig, where you're having to fish it slow, and the presentation is the best when it's dead sticked. This bait is really good to draw reaction strikes. So you could cast it out, you could be going down the bank looking for fish on your sonar and covering a ton of water with this thing. And when you find them, you can slow down and change colors to the green pumpkin or the green pumpkin red, throw a craw-like bait on there, a Ned bait, and pick it apart. You can use the shad color baits if they're feeding on bait, of course, but just to cover water. I mean, I catch a lot of fish just on the green pumpkin head with the shad style bait on it anyway. But again, if I decide that I want to switch from like a baby Z2 to a swim bait, this head does it all. I could take it off, put a swim bait on. I want to switch to a Ned style bait, take this off, put a TRD on, or whatever your favorite Ned style bait is. You don't have to switch heads from a swim bait head to a Ned head anymore. You just need this head, that's it. And it does way more for you. It's got that walk the dog action underwater that a swim bait head, a Ned head, none of those have. You know, you impart the action, so you could make it walk as hard as you want, or make it, you know, just sit there and dead stick it, do whatever you want with it. It's so versatile. So the wind's kind of drifting me. I'm just going to drop it straight down. Just going to drop it straight down. Let the wind kind of drift me. And we're just going to kind of vertical jig it here. Oh, fish on. Fish on. Vertical jigging it right there. First drop on the vertical jig. Oh, good one. Swallowed it too. Swallowed it. Don't know how good I got the hook in him though. There you go, right there. See how he ate that thing? Right there, pegged on the vertical jig. Right there, he couldn't stand it. Looked just like a little bait fish hopping around down there again, dancing like an ice jig. Put your favorite soft plastic on it and go at it. Thank you, sir. Could be more down there. I'm just going to drop it straight back down after I get my rod untangled here. And all right, vertical jigging it, letting the wind just drift us, dropping it straight back down here. Yeah, just popping it. That bait's working its magic. It's doing all the work for you. All you got to do is just pop it like that on the slack line. You could even just hold it here like this. Demiki rig, shake it. Let it go to the bottom, dead stick it. Hop it. Again, if you guys haven't tried this head for a Ned or for what I'm doing right here in the fall, and your fish see a lot of jigging spoons, they see hair jigs, all that sort of thing, you need to try this out. You need to try it out, because putting a soft plastic on the back just makes it more realistic than a jigging spoon, in my opinion. Oh, that one, got one. I didn't even know it. It's twitching it and he ate it. Got one though. we go. Oh, shouldn't have tried to boat flip them, but had one right there, as you guys can see. Turn this boat, get a little bit better angle. But right there, I let it go to the bottom. I was jerking it hard off the bottom, and the fish was just on there. That's what happens a lot of times. Sometimes you feel them that tick, you know, when it's falling back down to the bottom. Most of the times though, they just eat it. And I go to lift on them again or hit that bait again, pop it, and they'll be on there. See if we get another one here. All right guys, same head, just a different color, and allows you to put on, you know, a TRD like this on the back and use it just like you would on the bottom. But you know, from time to time, instead of just dead sticking it or crawling along, you hop this thing and it's gonna walk the dog back and forth under the water. All right, and it drives those fish crazy as they see that thing just coming like that, real slow. They might be thinking about eating it. You give it a couple harsh pops and it dances, they come up, eat it. Also, like I was saying with this lip, if it gets stuck in a rock, it kind of rocks over the rock, but it walks over the rock and it stops you from getting so many snags. It really catches the rock, deflects off well. Let's see if we could get one on it. Also, these all come with Ultra Point Mustad hooks. They're super sharp, really stout little hook. Just a great all-around bait. Also, it has an eye on it. I don't know if it makes a difference, but something different on a Ned head. You don't see any eyes on the Ned heads. But again, if I want to switch this, put on a swim bait, they start schooling, flip it, put a swim bait on here, throw it out. You could do that. Put what I have on there, Baby Z2 on it. You could do that. Super versatile again. All right, so I'm just gonna get on this outside weed line right here. At least that's where I think it is. I don't have a depth finder or anything. Just using my bait to fill the bottom. And this one I have on a 3/16 ounce head. So a little lighter. We're gonna let it go all the way down. Okay. Still don't feel any weeds there. Doesn't mean there's no fish swimming around there. Just means the weed line is in a little bit further. I'm just gonna drag it, and every once in a while I'm gonna pop it, get that thing to dance down there, kind of looking like a scared crawdad or something like that. I'm liking this weed I'm in because it's not too thick. I could tell it's near the outside weed line. Oh, I got one. Just like that. Like I said, I could tell it was good weed. Just because it wasn't too thick, my bait was coming through it and I was popping it. And that thing's dancing down there coming through them weeds. And in turn, equals a fish. Right there. There we go. Right there, right in the snout. Pinned him good too on that 6 pound with a light rod. Oh man. Pinned him almost too good. There we go. Right there, a little TRD. That jaw dropper head bouncing through them weeds did the trick. Again, that fish probably reacted to it when I was coming through those weeds. And what I'll do here is I'm just gonna spin the boat face into the wind again. Just give it a little toss. So let this wind kind of, I think we're on a good drift on the outside weed line here. Let this go down and do it again. So I could impart the action on my own, just like it would be coming out of the weeds. And actually a fish just picked it up. Just picked it up on that. Yep. Just like that, guys. He's probably looking at it down there on that mud. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see that? That was a good one. What the heck? Dang it. Just like that though. Just like I said, I was in the mud. There was no weeds, rocks, nothing. Popped it. It walked that fish instantly. Picked it up. Doink. Now I don't know that it would do that with anything else. You know, like I said, that walk the dog action. These bass are like cats. They like to chase. You know, you kind of got to get them to strike sometimes. Get that reactionary strike. And oh, I think I might have another one. Yep. Oh, we found some, guys. Found some fish. Of course, this one's a lot smaller. And it swallowed it. How he ate that thing. But that one's a lot smaller. I want to get this one back in and get back out there. There'll be a school of them down there. That's three in a row. Oh, got one. Right after I popped it. They all want to come up and jump. There we go. Dude won't open his mouth. There we go. There we go. Nice little fish, jaw dropper. Had it eaten. And that one again, right after I was popping it out of the weeds, right down here, just popping out of the weeds. Bait's probably going left and right, coming out of those weeds, and he ate it up. I'm gonna drop straight back down there. I know I said last cast, but you know, after you get one on your last cast, you gotta cast again. Oh, got one. He crushed it. There we go. That one hit it so hard. Feels like a better one too. Yeah, it's got to be a better one. They all want to come up and jump out of that deep water. Yeah, this feels like a good fish. Feels like a good fish. I just want to see it. Don't know how well I got it hooked. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I absolutely crushed that thing. All right. All right, guys. It's a good way to end. Have him pinned right there in the face. That jaw dropper. You could see I was twitching that thing along. Giving that fish something he hadn't seen before down there. Nice, nice fish. All right. Should I do one more cast? Should I? One more. One more cast? I feel like we're in the zone right now. What if I try the Z2 again? Let's do that. Let's just, that fish is about right here. Let's drop it down. All right. Oh, I got one already. Still on it. Yep. Yep. Does not feel as big. Oh, but it is a good one. It is a good one. Boom. Look at that. Back to back. One on the Z2, one on the NED. They're active, folks. All right, you guys. As you can see, the jaw dropper has a bunch of different ways that you could utilize it. Swim bait on it, put a Ned rig on it, put a little fluke style bait on it, drop it vertically, rip it out of the weeds, popping it off the rocks, dragging it, dead sticking it, of course. Super versatile type of a Ned head that is the only one of its kind out there. So hopefully you guys get to pick some up, try them out. The fall is coming up, one of the best times of year to use it. Those fish are schooling up on bait. If you have live scope, you could see them out there, or if you have sonar, you can see them under your boat. Use that thing like a spoon, I'm telling you, or a Demiki rig, but like a spoon, just popping it works awesome. Or put a TRD on it, put a Ned type of bait on it, work it on the bottom, awesome as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned a couple new techniques that you could put in your tackle box and use them out there on the lake to catch more fish. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.